Our next presenter is Xaver Birsak. Xaver is a WordPress developer with many years of progressive experience. He is the founder and creator of Mailster, a newsletter plugin with over 25K installs. Over the years, Xaver has experience in WordPress themes, customizing plugins, and developing blocks for Gutenberg and many other things. Xaver's talk is titled The Future of Email Newsletters in WordPress. Sending emails is an essential part of business and is getting harder to reach the inbox with stricter laws and new technical requirements from email providers. In this talk, we'll take a quick look at the history of email delivery and then dive into the future of newsletters and how you can use them with WordPress and the things you have to do to get your message delivered. If attendees have questions for Xaver, please put them in the chat and we'll talk about them in the Q&A after the talk. But without further ado, let's bring them on. Xaver, how's it going?
Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. This is a very important topic for a lot of people. Very important topic for me personally, because I deal with email quite a bit as well. So very much looking forward to it and any of the information that you can provide here. Thank you again for showing up to Stellar Spark. And without further ado, I will be bringing on your presentation and feel free to take off.
Yeah, thank you. So welcome to my session on the future of email newsletters in WordPress. Today we'll explore how to ensure your emails get delivered, differentiate between newsletters and transactional emails, and learn about the best practice for email deliverability. By the end of this talk, you'll know how to make sure your email lands in the right inbox and how to prevent spam filters. Hi, I'm Xaver Birsak. I'm a WordPress developer from Austria. I'm a husband and father of two and building an email marketing plugin for over 10 years now. I'm usually active on Twitter, but you can connect on other platforms as well. If you like to meet me in person, I'm usually on WordCamp Europe's and most likely on WordCamp Asia next year in February. So if you want to meet me there, best to meet me on a WordCamp. Before we start, I'd like to give you a quick slide of the history of email so you know where it comes from. Just to get started. The first email was sent in 1971, so it's over 50 years ago, even before the internet was even a thing. So as email gained popularity in the 70s, there was a need for a standardization, a standardized protocol. So they introduced SMTP and IMAP in the 80s. Back in the 80s and in the 90s, sending email was pretty straightforward. It was simple. The email landscape was less complex than it is today, with fewer concerns about deliverability, security, and also spam. To give you a quick idea on how email reaches your receiver's inbox, I've prepared a graphic to visualize the process. So we start on the very left, which represents you, the sender, using your favorite user agent like Outlook, Apple Mail, Gmail, to send your message via SMTP to your own mail server and mail transfer agent. This is, of course, not a fridge like in my graphic, but in it's a server and a computer, of course, which then routes the message to the receiver's fridge. Server, of course. Now the receiver uses their agent to get the message via IMAP or POP3. So this is a very, very simplified version how your emails get delivered. And I could stop here from now, but there's more. There's something somewhere between the steps which makes our life much harder. And what's that right before the receiver's server? It's all that spam filter, block list, firewalls, and all the things which makes the deliverability life harder. So what's deliverability? As many of you, I also try to use ChatGPT, and I've asked ChatGPT to give me a one-sentence answer, and this is what I got. Deliverability refers to the ability of an email to successfully reach the recipient's inbox, avoiding spam filters and other obstacles. And yes, that's exactly what it is. So why is deliverability so important? It's important for to maximize reach. Making sure your email actually land in your inbox means more people see your message, which increases the reach and also the engagement, and therefore, of course, eventually sales and money with that. Good deliverability keeps your sending reputation high, which is key for building trust with audience, but also with the email providers like Gmail or Yahoo, because they also keep a record of your reputation and decide if you are more likely a spammer or not. It also helps you to stick to email marketing rules in general, so you avoid potential fines and legal headaches, and also angry customers if your unsubscribe doesn't work, or if your subscribe is behind a login. So So what's the best practice to improve deliverability? First of all, technical preparations. Prepare your email setup in advance. So before you start sending, before you do anything with email, use authentication like a DKIM, SPF, or DMARC. Then keep it interesting. So make sure your content is always relevant to your audience. Don't send everything to anyone. Don't send everything to everybody, but use segmentation to only send relevant content to your audience. So people are actually engaging with your content more because they get what they really like to read or what they like to receive. Regularly clean up your email lists to avoid sending to inactive emails or invalid email addresses, which also can lower your reputation. And of course, stay away from any spammy stuff. Avoid using spammy practices and languages that could get your emails flagged by spam filters. Make sure your receivers can unsubscribe easily and inform them why they get this email. In our next chapter, we're jumping into how to use email in WordPress. So when you set up a new WordPress site, you usually send only transactional emails. Transactional emails are automatic messages sent to your users after they interact with your site. So they are triggered by the user. That's the important thing. Technically, of course, email is the same, but it's a different if they're triggered by the user or by yourself. Transactional emails like password resets, sign-up notifications, order confirmations, comment notifications, or if you use any plugins like contact form plugins, they also send often emails, which also account for transaction emails. And by default, these emails are sent with either PHP or SendMail directly from your server, which most likely end up directly in the spam folder. It's often not the case when you set up your website, but it quickly became the case that that they end up in the spam folder. To prevent this, use a professional email service, even if you only send transactional emails. You shouldn't use your web address to do so. The reason for this is pretty simple, or not pretty simple, but also complex technically. But often people are on a shared host where you share the same IP address and the same server with other websites. And if they send spam, Gmail and Yahoo and other inboxes think that this this IP address will send spam in general and will block your emails right away. So that's the only way to prevent this is to use an email service provider. Here I only included a few of them. There are many more. I personally like Amazon SES. It's a little bit complex to set up, but it's really flexible and it's really affordable. And I get good results over the last 6-7 years since I used them in terms of deliverability. I haven't tested the other services in production, but what I can tell from my users, they are all pretty happy with the mentioned providers. So if you already have an account, then you're good to stick with them and just set up your WordPress site to use this account for your outgoing emails. There are many WordPress plugins available to help you use an ESP for your website, so you don't have to set up anything complicated. So you just use one of the mentioned plugins. And if you use already one, you can stick to it because they are working pretty similar, all of them. Many of them provide a free plan to get started and offer an easy setup to prepare your site for the email sending providers. They often offer some email logging as well, so you know exactly which emails were sent from your site at which time, and often also which content the email contain. So I don't like to get into details of every plugin here. I personally use WP Offload when I'm not using my own plugin. This is only limited to Amazon SOS. So if you have a different provider, then you have to use a different plugin, of course. Most of them support every famous provider, but you can also use any SMTP server then. So the next type of emails are marketing emails. Marketing emails and or newsletters are designed to promote a company's products, services, or content. They are regularly scheduled and sent to a list of subscribers, so they are not user triggered. That's the important difference to transactional emails, that you as a sender decide when they get the email. They are focused on content like updates, news, promotions, or educational stuff, material. It's even harder for them to reach the inbox because of its nature not being triggered by a user, but by a schedule you define. And also by it's often that the content is promotional, and inboxes know when a content is promotional nature, so it's even harder to get into the inbox. They usually require a so-called warmed up domain, which means you shouldn't send thousands of emails in a short amount of time from a fresh domain, but instead slowly increase your email throughput over the time. So if you start with email marketing, It's often easier to start from scratch with 0 subscribers and increase your subscriber base slowly instead of having a huge user base and send them emails all at once. Sorry. I just look at the question. Should I? Let's focus the question after the talk, if possible. So then I can continue here. So, which email solutions should you use? There are a variety of services available. You can use all offer connections to your WordPress site. With them, these services, they are SaaS solutions, so software as service. They don't. With them, you don't have to host them on your own server, but you have to integrate them with your site. Mailchimp is a marketing platform with email marketing built and pre-built templates and forms. It has automation included and analytics and reports. It is really advanced, and meanwhile, it also offers a landing pages which are not connected to your WordPress site. Then, ConvertKit is an email marketing tool for creators, offering also automations and analytics, and they are focused on simplicity and also have some great podcasts. So if you like to listen to podcasts, especially email marketing podcasts, go check them out. I have all of them. Then Active Campaign combines email marketing, automation, and CRM, so custom relation management. It has a really good automation workflow builder, and you can build really complex workflows with them. And finally, and as I said, these are not all. These are very popular ones, and which came to my mind. And the last one is Omnisend, which is pretty new in the WordPress field. And I was able to speak to them at the WordCamp Europe this year. Next to email marketing, they also offer SMS marketing and also push notifications. These are all software as service solutions and integrate with your WordPress site. They usually have an official plugin to connect with your site, but they don't live on your web host. But if you don't like to use an external service, you can also choose one of the self-hosted solutions. These are all self-hosted, which means they run on your server and uses your server's resources, and mostly don't require an external service, except Newsletter Glue, which requires a connection to Mailchimp and Active Campaign. The first one is Mailster. This is one I've built or I'm building for the last almost 12 years. It offers newsletter creation, automation, and subscriber management and analytics, and you can build your forms with it. There's currently no free version, but you can test it out for 14 days. It integrates with a lot of third-party plugins and also many ESPs to get your mails out. The second one is MailPoet. It's also a pretty well-known newsletter plugin. It started as a French company, but is now owned by Automatic. They have a free version on the repo as well. They offer automation too, but only on the paid plans, and is also very well integrated into WordPress. So you get this look and feel like your WordPress site with self-hosted solution. It connects to its own sending service, but you can also connect to popular ones. I think it was Amazon and SendGrid, which they support. The third one is Groundhog. It's a CRM, so a customer relation management system, which includes an email marketing solution. It also has a funnel builder where you can automate your customer journeys. They have a free plan available on the repo, and this should really help to get you started with email marketing. And the last one I have here is Newsletter Clue. It's the only one which uses the blog editor to build emails, but it requires a connection to MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or some other ESPs. I don't know which one they already support. There are a bunch, but you have to have 2 plans. Basically, you still have MailChimp and also Newsletter Clue. So as comparison, the SaaS or software as a service are good for users who want an easy to use solution with minimal setup and maintenance, while self-hosted solutions are better for users who need more customizations, more options, and control over the data. Self-hosted solutions are often more affordable and are well integrated into the WordPress dashboard, so you don't have to leave your WordPress site to get your email marketing done. And services, on the other hand, are often connected only with an API, so you don't have this. Your server doesn't have to handle the email sending load, and but it comes with less possibilities, of course. Now let's take a look at the challenges we may face in the future when it comes to deliverability and email sending. Deliverability is getting much harder. Use authentication. It's not only a recommendation anymore. It's more of a requirement now. If you use an ESP, they usually require you to set up all this authentication like DMARC, DKIM, or SPF. And otherwise, I'm not able to send any emails with them. There will be stricter regulations. So laws, there will come more laws into place, and they will be more strict, and enforcement will also increase. Email providers like Gmail and Yahoo and Hotmail and MSN and I don't know, Outlook will use better and more advanced, more sophisticated spam detections. So if you don't comply to email best practice in the future or even now, you won't see your emails ending in the user's inbox. They will also use a thing called user engagement metrics. So it's a factor if your subscribers actually read your emails and open them and engage with them with clicking or replying to or forwarding to a friend. This counts as user engagement metrics, which use email providers to decide if your email is more likely a spam or not. And due to growing volume of marketing emails, which people get, it's harder to get engagement. So stick to relevant content, which is for segment. If you segment, you get better content for your audience, which then they are more likely to engage with the content. Accessibility, yeah, a new Accessibility Act will be in place in June 2020, next year, 5, which affects all European citizens. So if you have customers or subscribers in the European Union, you have to follow the new rules by that time. So this, I see it similar to the GDPR legislation in 2018 when everyone has to apply to GDPR. And it will be similar next year. So be prepared to that. Sending accessibility emails broadens your audience by ensuring that your messages are readable by people with disabilities. So screen readers and other assistive devices require accessible design. So make sure your emails are accessible. The users' expectations on accessibility will also rise, and people demand for more inclusive and accessible content. So be prepared for that. This can also increase your brand reputation if you show commitment to accessibility. Of course, if you talk about the future or now, you cannot miss AI, and AI can help you but when customizing your emails based on what readers actually like, make your content more interesting, engaging, personalize your email content with AI. AI can help you with the content creation. You can find engaging subject lines and also ideas for your next upcoming newsletters. AI can also help you segment email lists by analyzing customer data from the past. So, for instance, if they buy something, they can get the right content in the upcoming newsletter, for instance. And automate all the things. Automation is also a big thing. Automation will get more popular and should use to save your time. So let automation handle all the routine tasks. So all this stuff you have to do multiple times, like sending welcome emails and follow-ups. Use workflows to better segment your audience so you can target them better with marketing emails. Make sure you send your emails at the right time every time. Use also time zone based sending to reach your audience when they actually read your message, if you have a global audience. So if your subscribers are around the globe, send them the mail when they like to read them. Use automation to personalize your emails to make it even more engaging. And engaging means also more clicks and more opens. And also send emails based on user behavior. So if they open a certain website or a certain product in your web shop, maybe send this article to them via email. So it's more more likely to convert. And finally, make sure you sort your subscribers into the correct list from the beginning. Make sure you tag them correctly so it's easier to segment them at the later step, and make sure you have a quality list. So, and what you can do right now to get your emails delivered, make sure make your emails prepared and authenticated. Use an ESP for all your emails. I talked about it before. And also for transactional emails. And if you don't have a high volume, like if you have below 1,000 emails per month, you usually don't pay a cent for your email service. Use a service for test your emails like mailtester.com. It's a service where you can you get an email address and you can send an email from your setup, and it will give you a good result, what you can improve and what already works for you. Make your email, especially marketing email, accessible. Usually the transactional emails are text-based, so they should be fine. But your marketing emails with email and graphics and different kind of headings should be accessible. A good start is to test the web version of your marketing emails with a tool called Wave, which can be found at webaim.org. You can use this to test the web version of your marketing emails. Set up automations if your marketing solutions offer a way to do this, of course. Otherwise, you can use Zapier to help you with the automation. It really saves you time in the long run. Also follow email best practice. I'm sure if you listen to this talk now, or you find on Google any useful tips And of course, don't send spam, please. Some people think that their products are so important that everyone wants to know about them, but it's not the case. So only send to people who are really interested and opted into your newsletter and to your information. This should help to get your inbox. This should help to get your message into the inbox of your users.